Just going to explain what's going on in this video as it's happening. This dog's pretty soft to pressure from the human, so he's kind of chasing here, but you can see right there he gets a little bit unsure about me being so close to him and telling him what to do. He's not really causing any wrecks, he's just too close to the stock. But I'm going to let him kind of do that. I'm trying to just build up his tolerance. For me, he is balancing nicely off of me. He wants to go around the stock and he wants to bring them to the handler. He's just not sure how much direction he can take from me. So I kind of work my way to a wall here. And a lot of that video was not in the frame, so I cut it out. This dog likes to move his feet, so the big problem I'm going to get into here in a few seconds is that he wants to move and he never wants to actually hold the stock to me. He just wants to keep them going. So you can see he's moving off my pressure. He's just a little in close to the stock, so right there he's not bringing them to me. He should have slowed down and kept them behind me. So I'm going to block him and send him the other way where he should have been. Right there, he should just check up and keep the stock to me, and he's not doing it. He's trying to continue to circle, so I block him and I send him back the way he needs to go. Right there, he needs to check up, and he's not checking up at all. So I'm going to start getting a little harder on him for coming up to the front of the stock like that. Right there, he needs to check up. But see, he pushed the sheep past me, so I step into him and I push him off. And so he does get a little bit wider here. And he's thinking about what can he do to get to those stock. And so he stops, and that's great, and I send him around. And he's just really wide because he's a little bit offended at me and what I'm asking him to do. He really wants to keep those feet moving and keep the sheep moving and not balance them and hold them to me. So he's going around. I'm going to keep sending him around and make my way to a fence. Right there he needs to check up, and he does not, and he continues to advance. So I'm actually going to bop the ground in front of him. He's got to give to my pressure. So now he's just trying to figure out how can I keep these sheep moving. And what I'm trying to do is trying to show him that when the sheep are in front of me and he's holding them there, that's what I expect him to do. We're not always moving. So he can go back and forth to balance them to me right there. But see, he just releases the pressure. So send him back to the heads, get the sheep looking at me. Right there. But then he releases the pressure. So the big thing for this dog is going to be getting his feet stopped. And like I said, he's kind of a soft dog to handler pressure, so there's just going to be a back and forth between me and him of what he can tolerate and how I can communicate to him that what I want him to do is stop. I'm not telling him to stop. I'm not giving him any directions. I'm just using pressure and release. So my paddle or my stick and my body language. And so here he is being a very good operant conditioning dog and saying what exactly is going to get me the sheep. And you see, as soon as the pressure was released, he made a beeline for them. He was not quitting work. He was just looking for what option was going to get him the sheep without doing the stop, which is what I'm looking for. So I kind of let him go around. I'm going to readjust and get back along the fence. I did eventually get the stop in this clip.